Alrighty. And it looks like we are live. The Rice Crypto Show is live for the Uncle Ben and Rice Show. And today we have a very special guest joining us. So make sure you're sticking around. We're going to get the show started for you here in moments. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for this very special episode of the Rice Crypto Show. Another episode of the Uncle Ben and Rice Show. I am obviously joined by my homie, Mr. Bitcoin Ben. Let me make sure I unmute him. And we do have a special guest that we're going to be bringing on in just a moment. But I do want to make a few quick announcements to kind of get through that stuff real quick. I do have my Patreon channel. I'm encouraging people to check out my Patreon. I do exclusive content, early access. I'm starting to do monthly giveaways. This month, I want to give away an ounce of silver and $10 worth of Litecoin to 2 patrons. It's for patrons only, so I would definitely encourage you to check out my Patreon channel. I have also recently partnered up with Money Metals Exchange. And if you go to moneymetals.com, you're a first-time buyer, you purchase $100 or more, and you use the promo code RICE, you'll get a free half ounce of silver, and it's another way to support the channel as well. And I also want to promote a video that I uploaded yesterday with Jim Blasco, who is the CEO and a co-founder for Aspire platform. On that video, we actually created a Rice token asset so people can learn how to do that. And you have a chance to win $25 worth of Aspire so you can create your own token as well and have plenty of funds left over. So what's going on, Ben?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing well, man. I appreciate you coming on again today. I was looking forward to our conversation.
Hey, no problem. We got a ton to friggin' talk about. I had a lot of interesting telephone calls.
Oh, wow.
Today. That's why I'm smoking, and that's why I actually got this window blocked.
You're not on the bus, are you?
No, I'm in the RV.
RV. I always say bus. It's an RV. My bad.
And I had to actually get a new cell phone. It was dropped off to me. There's a lot of weird shit going on, and
you said it. You said it. I mean, we got a lot to talk about for sure. And let me real quick, before we bring on our very special guest here, I want to shout out a couple of people that are in the house watching. We got Paulie P in the house. I appreciate Robert, chill out with your magic, please. I would appreciate that because I hate putting you on timeout like I always have to do. LTC Perozzi's in the house. Deidre Baker. We have Bitcoin Broke, Tom. Tech Lords, what's going on, Tech Lords? Tom, and let's see here. Satoshi Sean's in the house as well. And let me go ahead and keep going through. That looks about it. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is on my YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. It's also streaming on Twitter, so you can share on both elements. I guess we can go ahead and bring on our very special guest here, man, adding into the mix. So it's Uncle Ben. And now we have cousin Kenn and Rice.
Soy boy, the soy sauce in the rice mix, you know?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Oh, is it bros?
This is going to be a damn good video.
Oh, the three and less, it's trouble, man.
Yo, shout out to Rice, man, because that video you did with Jim the other day was epic, man. And I don't know if it's I can thank you specifically, but I don't know if you've looked at the chart, but Aspire's mooning today, bro.
Is it really? If my small channel has that kind of an effect, that's great, dude. So let companies know that if you want to reach out to me for some paid content.
Yeah, no, I watched the interview. I thought it was really good, and then I don't really look at prices or charts or anything, right? I was just like, oh, I wonder how it's been doing since its launch on the Bitcoin.com exchange. And I went and checked it out after I saw your interview, and it's up.
Hit BTC. They launched that on that interview, and then he also announced their Atari partnership too. So the Atari partnership is a big deal. It may be that the Atari token could ultimately be built on the gas blockchain. So even though right now it's an ERC20 token, it could move over and allow for, because I mean, having those sub assets. Because Ken, you're the one. I
made milk.
But you're the one who said, hey, you really need to check this out.
Yep.
So
I looked at the tech, right? I do more FA than TA. And I took a look under the hood. I know the team. I know Jim. I hung out with Mike, Michael Turpin and everybody. It's
at the Mike Tyson mansion.
Yeah, man, a few times too, what I mean, throughout the years, so I don't know, checking out their roadmap. And I just, as soon as they launched, I was like, might as well grab some. And it hasn't been a bad idea since. So just shout out to their team.
There's still a chance for two people to win $25 worth of ASP to create their own assets. So I encourage people to get the ASP web wallet, post your address, and you'll get hooked up.
Yeah, I got mine, Milk and Ken. So you could, if you post your Aspire address, I guess on the Twitter or YouTube live streams, I'll airdrop some Ken or Milk your way.
Or the ones that are posted on my channel as well, man. I'll send you those addresses, and you can send some of the Ken and Milk tokens to them as well, because I want to send some of the Rice tokens.
I just like having my own shitcoin.
It's kind of cool. And the cool part, this is cool, Ben, since they're on the Bitcoin.com exchange, they have actually got a deal worked out with Bitcoin.com. And if you wanted to get your token listed on the Bitcoin.com exchange, they've got a special deal so that you wouldn't be paying like a full rate like other companies would. Because
right, so I might be able to get Ken listed is all I'm saying.
On Bitcoin.com for sure. And that's a really cool idea, man, because I mean, the liquidity on Bitcoin.com is starting to build up, and it's turning out to be a really decent exchange, aside from the fact that you technically can't use it as a U.S. Resident or whatever. VPNs will get you, though.
Yeah, technicalities don't stop nobody.
So, Ben, what's all this stuff that you were mentioning before we brought cousin Ken on?
There's a lot of crooked shit, and I guarantee, as I lay this out, that either the broadcast will be cut, or this, for those of you watching live, you may be the only people that see this.
Well, the good thing is I've got two ways of internet being on this computer, and I've learned that from the beginning. So, I mean, if they cut one, there's another, and then there's a whole different couple things they're going to have to do to make this stream end. I'd like to see that happen, though.
Oh, it actually might. The shit going down right now is actually linked with YouTube and Twitter and like Facebook.
Yeah, I just saw you posted that we can't retweet or something. There's stuff going on with Twitter. Somebody posted you can't retweet without a quote now or something. Or
well, you saw that it went down a couple of days ago too.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what happened. Apparently, they fractured Twitter. Now, let me explain what that means. They basically isolated groups in each personality or each user is labeled in a risk, or not really a risk category, but a grouping. And what they did was they fractured Twitter. where now, without anybody knowing, and this, if you look at your mobile Twitter now, it looks slightly different. And I'll tell you why. Because you're now in a group on a completely different serving cloud or server cloud than the other groups.
Yeah, intranets.
Yeah, and
like sub-internets within internets. Yeah.
And it looks like when you retweet, you just get like regular, oh, okay, my usual group is, but no one else outside of your grouping. And it's the top 75 people who interact with you are the only people who are seeing your tweets.
So they're creating echo chambers.
Yeah, say, that's the complete definition of what we thought an echo chamber actually is, and it's boxed in.
Yes, and that's what is going on, and that's where we're all going to live for the next at least 2 or 3 weeks. Now, also, AT&T and Android. Remember, Android is owned and ran actually by Google.
Yeah.
They are going to run an update probably tomorrow or Friday. And it's going to be a mandatory update. They're not even going to ask your fucking permission. This is just going to be a hard update.
I've been getting a lot of update on my, because I have a Note 10 Plus, and I had to do an update a day or two ago, and then like a week and a half.
I've been seeing every app I have on my phone needs to be updated almost every day. I think I updated Twitter like 6 times this week.
It's what they're doing is they are turning on switches inside the software that is going to censor and block the emergency broadcasting system.
Which is what we understand that Donald Trump has as his absolute way of being able to communicate with people in the very, very worst case scenario.
Yes.
In case there was no news or no internet or any of those things, he has the emergency broadcast system.
Yeah, that's the update. That's what they're going to change. Their switch, or however they're writing it into the code, is going to block that if he tries and use it. Now, the Joe and Hunter Biden news.
That's a mess.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Who falls asleep with a crack pipe, though, for real?
Well,
I guess everybody that uses a crack pipe falls asleep with it.
Eventually, it's
I was going to imagine.
Like
that doesn't be stereotypical or anything.
Sorry, I had to add a joke in there for the effect of this serious conversation.
Well, yeah, dude, the crazy part is like the conspiracy within the conspiracy is discrediting the original conspiracy, that it's doctored and intentionally edited and all this stuff. It's
so much disinformation.
Right, but that's the thing is like you would think the crazier conspiracy would just add more credibility to the original, which is this dude just got caught smoking crack and doing lines off of miners. I mean, But no, it's the opposite, which is the majority seem to be going with, oh, no, it's doctored. It can't be real. I'm like, I want to live in a world where you're right. And I think that's why they want to believe that.
This is going to be crazy. So what do you think, Ben? Like, how do you think this is going to affect everything?
Well, that's not what they're trying to hide. What they're trying to hide is the exposure of the money laundering rat line that exists in Ukraine and in all of these other fucking countries. It is, we've all wondered, or we've all said, you know, the IMF, the Federal Reserve, they're printing all this money. We should hit hyperinflation any day now. No. That's not how this system works.
No.
This system works where the hyperinflate, the money printing goes into the major banks, and then the major banks funnel that money into organizations that are in these rat lines. And this is the funding mechanism for the one world IMF system. And that's why President Obama, right before he left office, they switched it where if a major financial institution is convicted or fined for any illegal acts, that they have a choice to either actually pay the federal government or to pay and give the money to a nonprofit or recognized NGO. That is the money laundering part of it. The Federal Reserve prints up the money, gives it to the bank. They run it through the rat line. The federal government and the investigators then prosecute the bank. The bank pays a fine. Now, we remember that President Obama, right before he left office, guess what? Drops off a couple of $1 billion in cash over in Iran. That was front running Trump's not allowing that to happen anymore.
You saw what was going on a couple of weeks ago, where it was over a weekend, about 2-3 weeks ago, that there was a congressional, some sort of investigation had to come out in regards to banks being like trillions of dollars worth of money laundering. And ironically, and just in case Ken doesn't know this, Peter Schiff's bank is actually one of those banks.
No, I saw that interview and I thought that was great. And the first thing that came to mind when that was brought up, is, well, this journalist was prompted by somebody to strike this conversation in the mainstream.
Yeah, they're all trying. You know what I mean?
It's
I think the
right.
goal
Well, it's a narrative, though, right?
Central banks. It's crazy, but I think that's the overall goal.
But they're bringing it to the attention of the masses by telling these journalists to, like, hey, why don't you sneak attack this banker with one of these questions. So the conversation is now coming into the daily room by the time. Yeah. And here's where I'm getting at. Where's the government going to get the money they need to foot some bills that they need money? They're going to come for the banks and just take their money and tell them
it's because too, if you look into the Banking for All Act, which they're pushing for starting on January 1st, even though it hasn't passed through. but they've been introducing digital dollar legislation in like 4 different bills prior.
Right, they're gonna want the government banks instead of these.
They're already saying everybody gets Federal Reserve accounts. That's the plan. They don't want the banks around. They want
and they're not going to give you a choice to choose. They're just going to get rid of these banks by charging them with money laundering and everything.
Right. They're going to start to make people not trust the banks.
Exactly. It
because
starts with
because
that.
Everybody thinks the Federal Reserve, because it has federal as part of the government, so you can trust the government. Yeah, we can all trust the government.
Yeah, but look how vocal even Trump is about, the Federal Reserve and, the dollar and everything. It's
crazy.
The narrative is being put out for the mainstream to be aware of this. And you can see it from the mainstream media that they want you to be aware of this because they want to go after the banks, and they're going to need us with them. They're going to want us to be like, yeah, screw these banks. You're right, government. Let's have government banks instead.
Some dude on the chat's like saying, I'm going to just read this. I'll let you guys talk. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Ben.
Oh, no. Joe is always a good troll.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that. I'm just going to let him kind of do his thing here. I mean, if he wants to be an ass, I can just go ahead and put him on timeout.
No,
I don't try to do that too much. There's a guy who thinks he's casting magic spells, so I do put him on timeout just because I don't want that crap on the stream.
Yeah, you don't know if it's going to work or not, so it's better to be proactive than reactive when it comes to voodoo, bro.
But a troll's cool.
Yeah.
Apparently he's the ultimate troll too. So he gets the ultimate troll title. So shout out to you, Trollio. There's your 2 seconds.
The system we live in is and we all know this. It's criminal because we all argue about how they print money and how they just want money and they just want to get rich and all that. They print the money. They're not in it for the money.
Power, control.
It's all about the control. It's all about reorganizing humanity across the globe. They want population control. They want education control. They want military control. And they want healthcare control, which is all a system that they have created that actually makes us pay for our own killing. All right? The healthcare system is not a healthcare system. It is a preemptive psychological program that we have been taught that preemptive health care and to pre-treat issues and catch it early shit. That's all bullshit. Right? Because the day you are created, you have cancer in your body at a natural level of your body. Now, when you go in at whatever age, right, the older generation, that's why there's so many 40s and 50s and 60-year-olds who all of a sudden, my God, you've got rampant prostate cancer. It's stage 4. Really? Ask them, really, what does stage 4 mean? Ask them, what is my normal level? What is my baseline level? They never have that answer because All they do, and it's not the doctor's fault, they are educated that if you have this amount of white blood cells and this amount of cancer, that's what stage you're at. Did you know that every human being there's a range? There's a 60% range that every human fluctuates in as a normal amount of cancer or cancerous cells in your body. It's what it's what actually created me. What created me and my journey and why I'm in a fucking RV getting new fucking freaking phones. Interesting. Here I'll flash this. If you can catch who this is issued by, then you'll know.
I don't know, LG?
No.
I saw the thing on the back of it, and it was like, it kind of reminds me of an LG. Oh, it's a Google Pixel. No? I'm trying to think of who has that fingerprint on the back. That's what I'm going off of.
Well, I mean, the Pixel does have something, but there's a couple different phones that have fingerprint things on the back.
It's what's
you got a Huawei, or how's it pronounced, Ken?
Huawei?
Huawei, yeah.
No, not Huawei.
Yeah, I wouldn't use Huawei.
No, it's what created me was when they killed my dad. Because my dad was healthy and he retired. Went in for a health checkup for his new retirement insurance. And all of a sudden, they say, oh, look here, you have leukemia-like cancer. And I'm like, and when he told me, he's like, Ben, I got leukemia. And I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? And so I went to his doctor's office with him. And the lady explained it. She's like, yeah, his levels and his blood tests actually came back as leukemia-like cancer. And I go, the fuck is leukemia-like cancer? It's either fucking leukemia or something else. And she's like, well, we did a leukemia test, but it's not leukemia. And I go, okay, then what is it? Well, we don't know. And I go, okay, then why'd you fucking tell him he's got leukemia? Well, because it's like leukemia. And I go, so you've never seen anything like this before? Well, there's a lot of leukemia-like cancers. And I go, what's the name of this? Well, it doesn't have a name. All bullshit. So I started asking questions. I go, okay, what is his baseline? And she's like, we don't know. We don't have those records. He never took a test. And I go, so this could be his actual baseline level. And she's like, it could be, but it would be on the lower end of the range. And I go, what range? She's like, the normal range. And I go, so he's in the normal range. And she's like, yeah, but the lower level. And I go, but yet normal. I go, why the fuck are you telling my dad that he's got leukemia? So my dad, fucking being the brainwashed, I love my dad, don't get me wrong, God rest his soul. My dad was a dumbass. my dad's like, Ben, now settle down. Now settle. She's a doctor. She knows what she's talking about. And I go, no, she fucking don't, Pop. I go, she's got a white robe, which is, guess what? A fucking costume.
Yep. That's all it is. They're playing a part. Just actors.
And I said, why do you wear that white robe? And she goes, it's the uniform. And I go, the costume. So this all goes down. They tell my dad that he needs treatment, that he needs this poison injected into his body. And my argument's like, so you're going to poison my dad, hoping that you kill something that you don't even know what the fuck it is. And you're crossing your fucking fingers that it don't kill my dad. And it wind up killing him. Oh, wait, no. It wasn't the leukemia like that killed him. It was the heart attack, because they couldn't get the 40 medications they put him on to fucking keep his blood from turning into basically hardening concrete, where his heart could not pump his blood, and he had a heart attack, and then he died.
Yeah.
That, my friends, is the industrial healthcare complex, where they have educated these fucking doctors, and if any of them had a fucking legitimate critical thinking brain in their fucking heads, they'd take a second and actually analyze the medical scientific process.
Oh, Biggs,
Now,
thanks for the 420 super chat, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
I just saw somebody donated $4.20 to Rice.
Yeah. Hey, we're all going to need it, brother. We're all going to help each other out, because I'm telling you right now, and everybody, listen to me when I fucking say this. Shit's about to go batshit fucking crazy.
Well, what do you think people should do to prepare for that, man?
You need
I mean, as I say, is it MREs and water or Bitcoin and what? Like,
yeah, I mean, is it, where's your head at with where we're at? Because I mean, we've been talking about a lot of things for years about things that people need to do, but with what you're saying, what are you thinking for the immediate?
Get the fuck out of the major cities. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, follow the money. All the money's leaving them, that's for sure.
Yeah. These major cities are gonna they're gonna burn down. Remember
that was cool.
Remember the movie The Crow?
Yep. RIP.
Yep. Rest in peace, brother. It's
Brandon Lee.
Oh yeah, that was fucking crazy. When Trump wins, number one, fucking Biden, a piece of fucking garbage. Him, Hillary, all of the progressives. Now, this is not a Democrat issue. This is not a Republican issue.
It's good and bad.
Progressive. It's the progressives that are the cancer of our system. They've been doing it for 125 years, slowly moving the globe into this their goal is one world taxation system. That's their goal, because they know that central banks are going to hell in a handbasket. They need taxation to continually fund the organizations in this evil fucking system they fucking created that from the time you're born now till the time they finally fucking kill you, they're slowly killing you. Now, when a baby's born, all of a sudden it needs 40 fucking shots before it's.
Oh, it also needs a certificate of birth proving that it's born, so it could be in its corporate system too. So
and it needs more and more shots and things after that just to go to school and hang out with kids at a playground.
It's all bullshit. The food's poison. The fucking drugs are poison. Everything's fucking poison. The education system.
The water's poisoned.
Genetically modified. GMOs.
Exactly. Air is poisoned.
The truest thing you've ever heard is you are what you eat.
Totally.
Because if you eat altered DNA, it changes your fucking DNA.
Oh, wow. We had another $10 super chat.
Yeah, that was I highlighted it earlier. It's a guy named Tom, which I appreciate you, Tom.
I just saw the $10 super chat on my phone. That is awesome.
He's super good, super good. He was on my channel a lot.
Oh, respect, Tom. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody for tuning in and all the tips.
My boy. It's
look, Paulie P threw in a 419.
That's hilarious. I owe you a penny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, eventually it's just going to be like that RFID chip, Ben, that you need to get.
We Are Crypto's got that penny for Paulie P. I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Another 421 though to break it for 2 420s in a row. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love it, man.
We Are Crypto, epic, much points. But what I was getting at is, Ben, eventually it's going to be like mandatory RFID chips, and you're going to have to get software updates just like you get vaccine updates. And if you don't have these chips in your hand, you're not going to be able to vote. And if you don't or cash your check,
and then you combine that stuff with like digital dollar and Internet of Things. That's
what's happening.
It's one possible future that we need to stop.
We aren't going to make it that far. The only people that are going to make it that far are the people that don't have a problem with the RFIDs. Me, you.
Yeah, right? But if they can give you a benefit to doing it, or gamify this sign up, which is here's $1,200 a month for free. Go get your RFID at the DMV. You go down to the DMV, you trade in your license, they hit you with a little hole punch gun, and you get your $1,200 a month. People will sign up for that.
Black Mirror, man. You watch Black Mirror, and you know what the results are. It's not good.
Why would they do all that when they could easily just kill us?
Well, they need so many people.
Well, this is what they're doing with these viruses, right? They're killing you with these viruses, scaring you into opting into all
Georgia Guidestones is like a good template for like what they want to achieve.
This
aggressives.
This virus. This is from a group of viruses, right? And let me tell you their fucking plan. This is not coming from me. This is a 3-virus plan, because each virus that is released is going to actually it will hit you at the weakness that the last virus created.
Right.
Right. There are levels of viruses. All of these viruses, this COVID-19 was created with a technology called CRISPR.
Yeah, it's a gene splicer.
Yeah.
They do a lot of that kind of stuff here in Winston-Salem and the Triad area. This is big on like genetics.
You gotta love the agenda too, right? It started with blaming China, and all of a sudden, if you go and watch anything on the mainstream, you're blaming your neighbor. You know, it's like you could kill your grandma if you don't wear a mask. I'm like, I thought we were blaming China for this. When did I get in trouble? When did I get in trouble for it?
How many people have been attacked by fellow men and women for not wearing a mask in public?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. People that have taken their own lives due to like the lockdown
itself can cause like a civil war type situation.
Well, yeah, it's creating another tribe, right? You know, the masks versus the chin diapers.
Yeah, it's this. They have so many angles that they're fucking coming at us with. That if one of them don't work, don't worry, within a few years, another one will fucking get you. This is the most evil fucking collection of piece of shit that has ever existed on this fucking planet. I pray for a flood. Let's put it that way. And we as probably the last generation of the free thinking individuals, and I mean that literally, because they are blocking. It's what Alzheimer's is. Alzheimer's, and this, all of a sudden, every old fucking person that's like 65 or 70, early onset of Alzheimer's. You know what Alzheimer's is? It's a plaque that accumulates on your brain. Right? Now, the plaque is on the outside of the neutrons. So it isn't interrupting the electrical flow on the internal part of the neutron. What is it doing? It is blocking the frequencies that the neutrons receive. Your brain is just a big fucking antenna. Your body is just a big fucking antenna.
And big energy conduit too.
Yeah. Yo, shout out for the $5 super chat. Another $5 super chat, bro.
Spears. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Malonin.
I also know that dude. That dude watched my channel.
I like his avatar. Yeah, I was just gonna say the artwork. It is nice. I like the beard.
All right. And they know Trump's gonna win. Now, mind you, on election day, Trump is gonna come out and say, I won, landslide. Bam, there goes his fucking Twitter. They're going to shut this motherfucker down. And I'm going to call it right now, next 2 weeks, watch all of the online gaming is going to have issues.
So, well, there's a bunch of server issues apparently.
Well, they're 90% owned by China. Like, you know, way over dominated in the gaming industry when it comes to servers and stuff and games in general for gaming. It's like Tencent owns everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And those servers and those fucking games are going to have issues because in the next 2 weeks, it is going to be a network war. And when I say network, I mean every fucking network you can think of is gonna be, there's gonna be a war, a hacking war for the next 2 weeks up to the election.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, what happened with Twitter recently too, right? With the hack, and basically all they did was take everybody's DMs. The whole send one Bitcoin, get one Bitcoin back thing was just a decoy. What they really wanted was everybody's DMs.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what's going on, man. I mean, when you think about last week with the Twitter situation and all the YouTube channels that were taken down, all the stuff that was happening on different social media platforms.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that information to leak out. Somebody's sitting on it, and we've seen them start to leak out information that we've seen them sit on for, almost a year with Biden. So with Hunter Biden,
they're trying to be strategic. I'm wondering if stuff will get released before the election or if it'll be after, and Trump wants to win this thing kind of.
Dude, this could be down to the day of, bro. You never know.
But I mean, I've seen some of the stuff with the Chinese whistleblowers being with Rudy Giuliani, which is really interesting because a lot of people have been underestimating Giuliani. I even kind of did for a minute. I thought like this dude was going off his rockers, but I think he's a lot smarter than I was giving him credit for. And then also there's that one picture where you can see Steve Bannon kind of popping his head out from the corner, like kind of smirking because he's with two of the three whistleblowers with Giuliani. He knows, and he's coming down away from the organization, but he still technically works for Trump. He just doesn't work within the White House itself. I think he's been doing a lot of back end stuff. So, the stuff he's been doing with China, you're not hearing a lot of it on mainstream media trying to help disband the Communist Party and bring back a People's Republic to China. So,
he mentions it subtly with his banning on TikTok and his verbiage around that, without being too, I would say, too like violent in verb. He's attacking TikTok, but that is an attack on China directly.
Oh, absolutely.
So smart, Ken.
Oh, like Queen Lisa, love you. Thank you.
So TikTok is rat poison for your fucking brain. That's what TikTok is. That's
what most social media is anyways. Pretty much.
This was specifically designed for it though. Like some MK Ultra brainwash level and fucking design, bro.
You fucking nailed it. MK Ultra. MK Ultra was they fucking mapped out the human psychological influence through drug and triggering and hypnosis. People don't understand how powerful that hypnosis and the process that hypnosis.
Subliminal hypnosis too. It's not so much like sit here and stare at me, move my watch. It's like shit. Like back, I like how Fight Club kind of made a joke out of it, where they were like, watching movies that would have subliminal messages in them, and they kind of spliced in a big dick pic in the middle of the movie for Fight Club. But that was like a subtle way of them saying like, yo, you're being manipulated subliminally through your media.
I don't know the exact specifics because I'm not a specialist with this, but if apparently our subconscious brain is a lot more active than our conscious brain when it comes to watching things. So that's where we're susceptible to these subliminal messaging because we're not even aware because the way that our brain works. Now, had we not been conditioned to eat unhealthy and all the different medicines they have, maybe our bodies would function different and we would have these more natural. And
it's not direct manipulation either. It's indirectly because they found a way to turn the individual into the subliminal, brainwasher, right? You see like a lot of influencers on TikTok, doing the same thing as the last person who went viral. And they found this copy paste method to create like more brainwashers out of the brainwashees. So it's like
those popular TV shows, as they get popular, don't you think those are the ones that are being utilized to throw in those subliminal messages? And those people are willingly watching, like when you remember the craze for Game of Thrones, all the stuff with what was that biker series with Sam Crow?
Sons of Anarchy.
It started becoming Breaking Bad. All these things started becoming so trendy, and once they became like huge trendy, those were the things that people were willingly watching, and it was like an invitation for, hey, this is programming. Program me, please.
It's all frequencies. Everything is fucking frequencies, and that's what people need to start wrapping their heads around. Right? and Mr. Bosak, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this.
Let me
And
get ready.
probably you also, Rice. Whenever you take like a mushroom or any acid or anything like that,
You were with us both while you're on acid. That's why you say that.
right? The chemical that you are taking is interacting with the frequency of your brain.
Good way.
It alters the frequency of your perception. Now,
Jim
what
Morrison said it best, you know, when the whole idea of what the doors are in the book, The Doors of Perception.
yeah, when you alter your brain's frequency, what you're really doing is you are widening the range of perception of your brain. What you see in a trip is it actually exists in a different frequency.
Well, that goes to the theory of the observer affects the observation or whatever the object.
What about
the way I perceive reality affects reality, at least for me in my reality, which is reality.
The story, like,
and that's where mass consciousness comes, grouped reality, mass reality, and we can manifest those things with the frequencies that we tune into collectively and individually.
Kenn Bosak, I want to start calling you 5D, homie.
And I can prove it. It's why a quantum computer must run at sub-zero temperatures, because even looking at it alters the result. Google that. Witnessing a quantum computer alters the result of the quantum computer, because your consciousness is a wavelength.
I've been hearing things about technologies that have been suppressed that have a lot to do with our interaction between our energies and our DNA. And
Trump knows it. Trump's uncle is who hauled out the shit from Nikolai Tesla's office.
There's a
Proton video that you can watch if you guys are listening. There's a Proton video that will show that observation affects down to the molecular level of protons, whether you watch while it's moving or look where it went after it already moved, affects the patterns, and that's provable, like to the scientific level. Like observation affects protons to the molecular level. It's fact.
Yeah, because everything is energy, and we're one of the highest forms of energy.
We are all gods, bro. What do you mean? We are energy.
That's where when me and Ben touched on some Sumerian type stuff, going down that Inky Enlil kind of scenario last week with the rabbit holes, and this kind of all ties into some of that stuff when you start looking into all these things we're mentioning. I mean, it's when you think about the fact that we are almost being kept limited from our full potential on purpose.
Absolutely.
That's a really disturbing thing when you go through that process, because I went through that mental process of being pissed off. And then it was like, how can we fight this? Because this is so big and so powerful. And then it just started to shift. Like times have to change.
This might be a 5D thought, but then you got to think, if we're intentionally suppressed from evolving collectively, how have those that are at the top that are submitting that oppression right to the masses, how do they benefit? How do they react? How is life
control?
And no, not just control, but I mean, like, at their reality is so different. You ever try to talk to a billionaire, bro? It's like they live in a completely different multiverse, and they just popped in to visit ours because they ran into us. Like it's almost like a ghost walking down the street, and then somebody in another dimension acknowledges you. That's how it is when you talk to people sometimes that are like that wealthy. I've run into some at not even the peak of that, and I can see it.
Why do you think the elites torture the children before they actually drink or ingest blood? That's all true. All right. It's
Well, there's something about children though, because children up until around the age of 7, at some point, it's not always 7 exactly, but somewhere around that age is when like children will lose that disconnection to source, to God.
What the metachlorian levels or something?
I don't know what exactly it is, but it's just like something. It's not just losing your innocence, something to that effect.
No, it's the telomeres on the end of their DNA.
Telomeres.
Yeah,
Is talking about this conspiracy gonna like manifest into a reality, like the whole like killer clowns phenomenon where people just talked about it and then people started doing it because I feel like these conspiracies could create themselves, just saying, like self-fulfilling prophecies.
They already exist, bro, and they have for thousands of years.
Oh, we got a $12.60 super chat from LTC.
Think about it.
That's 420 times 3.
That's 420 times 3.
Just so you know.
Right.
That's hilarious.
One of the largest religions in the world, Christianity, which is pretty, average and normal, and nobody thinks twice about it.
Can't wait for that to get cancel cultured.
Is actually based on the idea that on the Last Supper, that Jesus literally turned wine into his blood and the bread into his flesh. And he said, drink of this and eat of my flesh. Now, why is a socially accepted religion literally, and I'm telling you, Catholics and Christians,
like vampires,
they know what I'm talking about.
Well, that shit's part of the normalization of the lore, right? You got to give something to the discredit lore, right? When people start saying, "Oh, dude, they're drinking kids' blood like vampires," like vampires, you're silly.
Yeah, it's all fucking true. The vampire, the myth of the vampire is not a myth. It's absolutely true. It's actually based on a king that would drink the blood of the
there's different levels too. There's energy vampires as well, not just sucking your blood. There's taking your energy, feeding on your actual energy without that.
People don't understand how important blood is. Blood holds
our life force. It's everything that we are.
It isn't just that. It holds our.
It's our hard drive, right? It's our hard drive, right?
It holds our memories.
Yep, exactly.
Our forefathers' memories, like we're supposed to.
Have you seen what they've been doing with putting data into DNA, bro? They could fit more data into a drop of blood than they can into the biggest hard drive physically possible, bro.
Ken, we should be able to recall all that data. So all the things that our forefathers learned, we should have been able to recall. So we should be improved.
You can though. And that's what meditation and a lot of these things are really about, is like tapping into that memory that is in your DNA, which is in your hard drive.
One day. I can't wait until you're a guru.
Yeah, it's
my favorite part of Ben is he doesn't smoke, but I always feel like I'm smoking with him.
He is.
Hey, you smoke that and I'll smoke this. We are walking, talking flesh and blood. We are generations of our family. We are the diary of our generations fucking before us. It's what creates what we actually call our instincts. Our instincts are our generational memory.
Yeah, I had somebody in the chat just said I'm going to have my BTC private key and code it in my DNA, and I'm going to beat you to the punch. Where I have had conversations with people like this. What is that guy Ben Garza from Singularity Net? Right?
It's not Garza. It's,
What's his name?
I know you're talking about though.
He has the cool cheetah hat. That's what he.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of his last.
He made Sophia. Why can't I remember his name?
I can't think of his last name.
I got to talk to people like him.
Or something like that. Getzel, Goetzel.
I talked to him in person a few times, and people like him at these conferences and shit. And I've talked to people about that. The problem with trying to force information into DNA that isn't naturally embedded or encoded into it, your white blood cells, your DNA itself is actually forced or created to force out false information, seek it out and kill and destroy it. So if you weren't trying to embed it with a private key, exactly, it would be a virus. Your private key would be considered a virus to your DNA.
Edited it the right way, and that's where CRISPR comes in.
And that's where remembering it comes in, bro. Stare at it, say it over, repetition, and you can embed it into your DNA that way by encoding it and ingesting it and uploading it through its natural code.
Thank you so much, Ken. I love you, man.
Your brain is your hard drive.
No, I think your brain is more like a processor of your DNA, where it processes the information and encodes it into the DNA.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It is your brain has several different processes. Now, number one, you as an entity, you receive a broadcast of your soul, right? That's why when you're born, you basically got your personality that you've already had. And that's why children think they can fly and do all this magic, because they've awoken into a point of singularity that they've never existed in before. They've never had the limitations. It's the equivalent of playing a new video game. When you hit power, you don't know the environment. You don't know, can I fly? Let me try. Let me push A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, F. You don't know the rules of the game. And you, as in playing the game, if you're using a remote joystick, you're literally remote controlling a visual representation of a human in a video game. What's the difference between your brain and that PlayStation and the world we live in? Although it seems three-dimensional, it isn't. It isn't where I'm at only exists because I perceive it.
Sweet.
If there's no one there to perceive it, the area of the illusion doesn't exist. It's why we have like, damn, this place looks familiar. It's because your brain created it. Your brain.
That's like some Matrix level stuff, man.
Well, you got to go think about like a memory too, right? Your memory of an interaction. I mean, it's never going to be the same memory that somebody else has, even if they were in the moment. Like the moment me, you, and Ben share in Vegas, bro. Like that reality is completely different. It's forever changing as we remember it. it's constantly changing for all three of us simultaneously. And like what Ben was saying, you know, when kids come into this world, it's like playing a video game. They don't know the rules. And that's why we see this game, this reality that we know, the game evolves. It updates constantly by people coming into the world, not acknowledging its rules or being aware. And then it feels like they're using a cheat code. Like, how did, you know, Nikola Tesla do this, or how did, you know, Einstein do that? And it's these people that have thought so far outside the box. They see the cheat code to the game, and they actually force an update.
369 is part of the cheat code. Damn it!
Right, it is. It's how we accept what people know as God is the cloud. All right, the cloud is the collective knowledge of everything in this existence.
It's like the Akashic records is what some people
say. Exactly.
Everything that is known exists in the cloud. Why do you think that in every religion, and I mean every one of them, when you pray, what do? You ask questions. You ask for the guidance. You ask for help. Whenever you meditate, what are you doing? You are trying to actually tap into a greater knowledge than the reality you're in.
Religion itself proves this, Ben. You know, if you go back to religion itself, you can even track Christianity's, you know, the story with the three wise men and Jesus, the day after. That whole story was actually spread around the world before anybody could travel and communicate, you know, and spread that story. There was dozens, if not hundreds, of religions that had this
astrotheology
beginnings.
People can check out Jordan Maxwell.
Very like a shadow. Maybe a little bit of things or interpretations are different, but the fundamental buildings of majority of religions all around the world before people could travel and spread the stories were very similar.
And primal as fuck, though. It's the sun.
But they could tune into that cloud without all these frequencies interrupting between us and it, dude. That's like, I get the issues with 5G isn't just cancer, but it's like
it's like tapping into the Wi-Fi. We got a block. We got bad signal. We got broadband. So we're not able to get the full download.
Exactly. That's what they're blocking with the chemicals. That's what Alzheimer's is. Also, you're losing your memories because you're losing the frequency. The calcium builds up on the outside of the neutrons, blocking the frequency from the neutrons receiving them. And every night you go to sleep, you upload your experiences into the cloud. We are this. This here is just.
I mean, we made that. We're far more superior than a smartphone.
Absolutely. Whatever you want.
What's the epitome, right? Like
we don't need QR scanners. We can just do stuff with
but like, what's the epitome of the peak of technology is to make it human-like. It needs to be more like us for it, you know,
a part of nature, to be symbiotic.
What the goal? I don't care what you call them, Illuminati, the rich, the wealthy, the globalists, the elites, whatever.
The 1%ers.
The 1%ers. Their goal is to trap us in the 6 of the 369 Tesla secret. That's why Tesla said that.
Why don't you think it's a 369? I think it keeps us in an 8 loop, an infinity loop.
Tesla said, once you understand 369, you understand the universe. That's why the Satanist, or whatever you want to call them, that's why the number is 666. Because this realm, this world, this consciousness is represented frequency-wise with the number 6. There is a lower level, that's the 3. The 9 is the higher level. They're trying to trap humanity in the 666 and remove us from the 369. The 369 is where we originally existed, where we received the frequency of the past, which is the 3. We can anticipate and recognize the energy of the future, which is the 9. But they need to trap us in the 6 because the 6 is where evil and humans can have control. They're trying to outsmart death. Anybody ever wonder why George Soros hasn't fucking died yet?
Or even, I mean, someone like what's his name? Magic Johnson back in the 80s when he was found not just positive with HIV, but AIDS, and he's still alive and doing very well.
It's all frequencies. There is a cure for everything, and I will fucking prove it right here. Every virus is actually based on what is called an echo trait. An echo trait is measured in a medical instrument called the echometer. When you alter the frequency of a virus, it kills the virus. When you alter the frequency of a cell, it either energizes the cell or you send an alternate frequency. That's what radiation is. Radiation is an alternate frequency that is lined up with the frequency of the cancerous cell, and it freezes the cell. That's why when a woman hits the right pitch, she can break a glass from across the room. It isn't that she's altering the frequency of the glass. She's keeping it from moving, because although that glass seems to us to be solid, it's not.
It reminds me of that Matrix scene with the little kid talking to Neo with the spoon.
There is no spoon. Exactly. That's the key. People have to understand that humans, prior to us, and thousands of years ago, we could, and we still, and some of us still can, manipulate frequency with consciousness.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, one of those things that, you know, when you got to start almost looking at indigenous people and people that are practicing spiritualities that are kind of natural and earth-based. I mean, when you
that was the greatest decoy ever created, was religion, to distract people from spirituality. Yeah.
Yes, religion is bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's another form of control, and it's to keep people from thinking.
It's to control spirituality, bro. That's
and just
exactly
keep people
what it's
from
for.
thinking. Like if you grow up a traditional Christian, when you question the narrative and you say something that's heretic, you're always in the wrong for questioning things.
Religion only did one thing. It created the illusion of a fucking gatekeeper. That's what it did. That in order to reach this spiritual level, that you have to go through someone inside the church. You have to confess your sins to a priest in a box. That's fucking bullshit. Jesus never once, see, Jesus is real, and Jesus is alive, and Jesus is spirit. If you listen to what Jesus said and not what the church tells you he said, Jesus, you don't need a church, you don't need a tree,
The kingdom
you
is
don't
God is
even
within
need,
you.
you don't even need a mouth to talk to God.
And we will do greater things. And it's the spirit of Christ that's that's where that idea of the Christ consciousness also kind of comes into play. It's powerful.
There are two things in this world that matter: positive and negative. That's it. You're either positive
duality.
or you're negative. And if you are positive and you spread positive energy, humans around you will amplify. If you're strong enough, if you're loud enough, if your energy, we've all went to a concert. Why do you think that the frequency of the music literally puts people into trances and group trances?
Yeah. Well, if you in spirituality, like drumming, you look at things like in African culture, you look at voodoo. The drumming actually is an invitational thing. So the rhythms play an invitation or a way to keep certain things away. It's very interesting. So yeah, that's all frequency based.
If you want to read some fucking interesting shit, there's original writings of a group of priests right around the Revolutionary War. They were called the Black Robed Brigade, right? It was a group of priests. Hardly anyone's ever heard of them. But if you read the original writings of the Black Robe Brigade, you are going to learn more about the original structure of humans than you've ever imagined. That's why I've said on my show, we are fucking magic, and we don't even know it. Because humans, witches and warlocks and all that shit, that's absolutely fucking true. Because
I will talk about it. We know there's some legitimacy to it, but they always even from a Christian perspective, they would tell you to stay away from it because it was dark.
It isn't dark. It's
intention as well too. I mean, there is a negative version of this Sid energy.
Yeah, and I hate to quote fucking Star Wars.
I love quoting Star Wars, especially Yoda.
It is the force. You either have positive or you have negative. Negative, the reason that everything in the universe is actually based on positive and negative and magnetics. All right. Now, we've all heard of a guy named Cliff High, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, the last video he put out, he's finally on the right fucking track. And when he gets a little bit closer, I'm going to reach out to him because they're finally figuring out that you jump across the upper rim of the magnet sphere. And that's how you travel from one point to another point instantly.
Yep.
Because what you do is you use human consciousness to focus the frequency of the front of the material of the ship that you create using an element. And you guys, just to tease you, so you have to go and watch Cliff High's video. I'm not going to tell you the element that you've got to make the ship out of, because the element is the key.
Okay.
Because
And this is on his YouTube channel?
yeah,
Okay.
and humans have figured this out now. Cliff is this fucking close. Once you focus your consciousness on that element, the element freezes and goes into what is called a negative, or it's not even negative, it's flat, it's neutral. All right. Then the front of the ship automatically sets itself and will move across the trajectory of the top of that magnet's swirl, right? Because magnetics are not the round, like coming out and then coming back up. That's looking at it front ways. When you look at it sideways, what it does is all around us are these coils of magnets and magnetic spheres. That's why the sun, the planets and the sun do not circle each other. The sun moves through space and the planets trail behind it.
Yeah, the corkscrew.
The corkscrew, that's the magnetic sphere.
That's exactly how I see the universe, and I never understood the flat one when I seen it. Even as a kid, I was just like, "This shit don't make sense."
Now this is.
You got to admit it doesn't, though, right?
A lot of things don't make
just
sense.
flat and everything's
cool.
perfectly spinning around each other. And
the
sun is like a bullet shooting through space.
Yeah, and what it does is Earth has a frequency. That frequency, and as the energies move through the Earth gets bigger, right? And I've said this on my show for it. Oil is not made out of fucking dinosaurs. Right? Anybody with a brain bigger than this can figure out that oil is not made out of fucking plants and animals that decay and all. That's fucking retarded. All right. Oil is the most solid level of liquid carbon out there. Right? Everything on Earth is made out of carbon. Everything. And this is made out of carbon. I'm made out of carbon. You guys, this laptop, this screen, this fucking lighter, everything's made out of carbon. It's just how it's arranged. And how it's arranged is actually based on our consciousness. We arrange carbons with our internal consciousness. We manipulate carbon with our physical.
Yeah.
We manipulated carbon and made this little motherfucker.
Yep.
Right? Now,
manifested it.
Exactly. We
started with a thought.
It all science is reverse engineering the levels of frequency of energy. That's it. Initially, all we could fuck with was rocks and shit that existed. Then we learned how to manipulate wood. Then we learned how to manipulate fucking metal. Then we learned how to manipulate oil into petroleum. Then we learned how to break petroleum down into other materials.
Now we're working on how to make light. See these people making physical light.
Pure energy. Last year, they actually took pure energy and made silver.
I want a lightsaber.
Right? We are now at the point where we can manipulate energy and create matter. That's what made the earth.
And we've been able to do that forever. That's where alchemy comes from. We were just tapped out of how to do it manually, and we're trying to figure out how to do it more externally.
Yeah, well, alchemy is the key to a lot of things.
In the old days, we could with our consciousness, because our consciousness, all right, this is going to blow.
That's where I always interpreted the Jesus water into wine and thing, like, you know, and fish that could feed everybody. It was alchemy. He believed and manifested into the reality. This is. I love you, Ben. I didn't mean to cut him off.
I like that dance, though. You got to remember that.
What did Jesus say? It isn't that I'm healing you. It's that you believe you are healed. You have faith in your own healing. We can heal ourselves with thoughts. We can heal each other with thoughts. It has all been a fucking lie. We have been told this lie for hundreds of fucking years.
Well, the Asian now, like their home, I'm not sure the right word, but their natural ways of trying to cure ailments, because they use energy and they use things like.
Well, it started as kids, you know. Don't put bad thoughts out there into the universe, or they'll come true. And you know, as an adult, you kind of lose faith and belief in that. But you know that when you start to believe in negative things, that's what happens, and it's easier to kind of manifest those thoughts and fall into them than it is to focus on positive thoughts and manifest those into reality.
Yes, we literally are fucking magic, and we have been lied into this illusion that all we are these little pieces on a chessboard. We are one. Human's power creates universes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we create universes with our thoughts.
Well, that's why I would tell people I believe in make believe. Like, that's my religion. I believe in make believe.
Peter Pan, there's a good story to, and there's some truth to the whole Peter Pan mythology. Yeah, especially them trying to be like a child as well. Because if you think about also what Jesus said, he said, think like a child, be like a child. Because it's children that question everything.
And the reason children question everything is because they haven't been programmed. Why do you think that the progressives, they want children in programming at the age of 1? As soon they don't even want the parents to even they want them working a job each, where the husband's working, the wife's working. Not just drop them off at kindergarten. Why do they call it kindergarten? Because they're growing the children they want. This all revolves. It's and like I'm gonna say something that's gonna blow people's fucking minds. The earth grows in line with the amount of humans on it. As more and more humans are on this planet, the planet grows, because our consciousness is part of a formula of frequencies that create matter.
Wow.
And that's fucking history books. I wish I could burn every one of them. That they've told us this lie. And at one point, there was one big land mass and the rest was water. No, bullshit. It's why when you put all the land masses together, they're just a smaller Earth.
Pangea, yeah.
It shows you the original where when it cooled,
It's like when wood expands and contrasts.
right, it broke apart. All right, and it separated as more and the fucking Garden of Eden was that hard, full surface. And then it started to break apart as more and more humans populated the earth. And as more and more humans were created, the consciousness actually got stronger. And the formula of the frequencies got bigger, so the earth got bigger. The more humans the earth has, the bigger the earth will get.
Yep.
It's like having a fish in a fish bowl, except as the fish grows, the fish bowl grows.
Yeah.
It's because this earth, this reality was created for human consciousness. This universe was created for human consciousness. We are creating the universe as we exist in it. And
Wow, I had no clue this is where this conversation was going to go tonight. but
I'm just letting Ben
thoroughly
talk.
enjoy
I'm
it.
digging it. Exactly.
watch
He's 100% onto it though.
watch how long this video fucking lasts. I guarantee.
It's already been demonetized.
Oh, I guarantee it.
So I appreciate all the tips.
It's because this is the shit that we've been lied to. And what it is that there is a fight between good and evil. And there is a good and there is an evil. And there will always be a good and there will always be an evil. And what we have to do in every generation of humanity is try to save the one thing that makes the system work: free will. Without free will, you do not have free thought. Without free thought, you cannot have consciousness. Without consciousness, the world does not exist. The universe does not exist. This all fucking goes away.
Yeah.
Because without us, we are the linchpin that holds the universe together.
Well, there's some movies that you watch where where it talks about like old gods, and a god that is no longer remembered disappears because consciousness no longer
that show's
recognizes
amazing.
it.
What is that show called again? The New Gods or something? Gods of
I
America,
mean,
American Gods.
There's been a couple different things where that's kind of come about in, but
yeah, there's a popular show I think on like HBO or so. I don't know. I pirate everything, but yeah, it's sort of like the idea. And what's cool is in that show that you're like things that you're mentioning, we're manifesting new gods by believing in technology. We are creating new gods that are competing with the legacy gods in a war that we can't even see.
That's interesting as hell.
I'm gonna say two words. And I want everyone here to Google this.
Presearch it.
Presearch.
Manifest destiny.
Manifest destiny.
You will bring up quotes from Andrew Jackson, George Washington, Trump. Anybody have any, watch the interview, or no, watch the announcement where Trump announces that America is launching a space force. Wait, what the fuck? Watch when he says, and you'll see how uncomfortable he is when he says this. Apparently, our enemies are in outer space.
He said that in a previous in that same announcement when he announced the space force. I got to go back and re-listen to that.
When he announced the space force, and just last month, I think it was the head of the Defense Department officially came out and said that HARP exists.
Mm-hmm.
That
and CERN. I mean, there's some crazy shit that's going on that people really need to wake up to.
What are those energy weapons? What do they use? They use frequency. That's it. They use What is the difference?
Well, microwave is a frequency. That's why.
Well, there was an interesting study done on frequencies, even as far as like this is going to be way out there or whatever, but like cats purring. Can heal their
like
bones,
like a meditation.
Exactly, it cures them of ailments. It makes them healthier. Like, it's weird, but you can look at the studies that have been done in the feline world, and they studied like tigers and house cats, and even putting cats on people that are sick, and like the cats purring on them when they're injured, and it has been proven to help things progress. And they're starting to even use frequencies.
Egyptians used to worship cats.
And well, not just that, but they're also starting to realize like these frequencies you can hum into, like Wim Hof style shit with breathing techniques and things like that. So, and they're using these external tools to like, I think even Trump says some crazy shit like this, where like they're going to use sound waves to cure COVID. I'm like, he ain't wrong, because they're using sound waves to cure shit.
That would go into that med bed stuff that a lot of people have been mentioning in the chats. So
that's what I'm saying.
A lot of talk about these med beds.
And it all comes from fucking studying cats, which is crazy. And I don't know why I know this, but I do.
No.
I love you, dude.
Water.
It's true.
Water is the key to all of this. Like, if remember the explorer that we were all told he went down to Florida looking for like Fountain of Youth? All right. So the big secret is it's any water. It's any water. If you lay in water and you have the frequency of the earth playing around the water will heal you. Because what happens when you're healed? It is the negative or the wrong frequency. That's why they call it disease.
Have you ever been inside an isolation tank? Because you're describing another thing that has been scientifically proven yet again, not to just be like voodoo bullshit. It's real. This is all real.
Think of the word disease. It's two words. It is actually dis-ease.
Yeah, like it causes you.
Right. In order to heal yourself, you put yourself in water. And then you broadcast the frequency of the earth, which the earth has a frequency. And as long as there's enough water around you that there's more frequency echo from the water than the issue with your body, your body will level itself out at the frequency around it. Because what disease is, what you die of in a disease, is when the frequency of the disease overwhelms the frequency of your body. That's when you die. That's when your heart quits beating, the rhythm quits. It's because the disease has altered the frequency in your body enough that throws off the rhythm of your body's system. And once that happens, you die, because you only die when your system freezes. That's why they shock you and it brings you back to life, because it's a rhythm. And you can heal yourself with frequencies, as long as the frequencies that are, it's why over in Africa, and Google this shit, I'm telling you, it's fucking
Presearch it.
Right?
We're gonna get you on that Presearch train.
It's my default search engine.
All right. When they break their legs, you know what they do? They bury themselves in the earth. And within a week, the legs healed. Why? Because it is overwhelmed with the frequency of the earth, and it realigns your frequency.
Yeah, but what we've seen recently is that frequency, that natural frequency, has been echoed out. You know, it's drowned out. It's going to be so sought after that it isn't just any water. It may be, you know, specifically located in there's specific points all around the world that have these energy beacons that you might, you know, have to seek out and maybe try to build sanctuaries around to keep these frequencies from interfering with nature's frequency, because that's where we don't see so much progressive natural healing, is because in inner cities those frequencies don't work. It just it's not just that, you know, oh, they do this in the backcountry and it seems to work, and it doesn't. It's just because the frequencies are different in the inner cities than it is in like a deserted area.
And the worst invention ever made for humanity was shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's kind of why I highlighted the thing that Tom said, take your shoes off. If people are feeling really overwhelmed,
go hug a tree.
The earth really does have a grounding effect. And if you can take your shoes off and
it realigns your
grass, get on the dirt.
Hey, I'm telling you, if you never hugged a tree when you're sad, you just don't get it.
Why do you think they call the ground? Because it really does truly
ground you.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not just a floor, a solid place that keeps us a hold. It really truly grounds us, and we've gotten detached from those things. That's why I think, like, in a way, it'd be great to bring back a lot of the teachings and traditions of a lot of these Native American tribes, because they're a lot more connected to these things that we're talking about.
Yeah, but it's not progressive, right? It's not going to help us move forward in the agenda written narrative.
Not from that perspective, no, but from the perspective that we truly need and that we're moving towards. Hell yeah.
There's going to be a separation here in about probably 15 years. And that's why they're working on population control. Because there's a group that's going to leave this fucking planet. And the rest of the people on this planet are just going to be working for large corporations, mining the minerals needed for the off-world fuckers.
Yeah, we're going to be exporting everything.
Yeah. They need about 500,000 people to supply their off-world adventures.
Yeah, well, look how much money is being invested in off-world ventures and how little money is being used to turn salt water into fresh drinking water here on Earth.
Yep. And that's the simplest process in the fucking world.
Well, I've see it's expensive as shit, but yeah, no one's investing in it. They don't want to do that.
They've told us it is. There's so much fresh water out there that we can't fucking. Water doesn't leave the planet. All right, we're not gonna run out of fucking water. You can't run out of.
Well, we can when Dasani's building up troves of it and hoarding up bottles of water and getting ready to send it off planet. That's all I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, yeah. If we take what we have off the planet, then yeah, we could have an issue. But I think,
well, that's what I'm saying. When Ben's getting at, though, is we will be exporting water, and that is something that is scarce because we're not investing in making the water we have here drinkable, and that's where they're going to get us importing fucking water from the moon.
Dude, it's like when you like Ben mentioned something about carbon earlier, and you think about Gore and the carbon credits thing. It's pretty interesting when you start putting those kind of things together.
Now put this into your pipe and smoke it.
I'm all out.
If the Earth grows with the population, what does the Earth do if the population shrinks?
It shrinks.
No.
Okay.
It dies.
Wait. Oh shit. All right.
Because it can't go down in energy. It can't reduce itself. It can't like expel that energy to reduce its.
We are.
Well, the fuel.
We are the fuel. Our consciousness is the fuel of the Earth. And without us, the Earth dies.
We definitely need to do more conversations like this. I mean, if we're just going to do shows, I would like to talk about these roundabout tangent topics because I mean, this has been, I think for one, people have been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it. I could tell all you guys have been enjoying it. So I mean, next time we do a show,
that's gone fucking crazy.
Huh?
The friggin' chat is like,
yeah, a lot of people are
like, this is the best show I've ever fucking seen.
Have we done something? I think we've done something together though before, haven't we?
I feel like we have once.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, Ben said he wanted to come on once a week while things have been like they are. So I mean, when he does, Ken, I'll let you know, and you're always more than welcome, and we'll just.
I don't want to take over you guys' show, man. I'm happy enough
I
to
like
be a
this
guest.
Man, this menage a trois is beautiful.
Ken, what did I tell you years and years ago?
You're my real dad,
brother. No, you were put on this earth for a reason. You just don't know the reason yet.
I'm looking for it.
No.
Don't worry. Spirituality stuff, though, Ken. Like,
it has already found you.
You just don't know. You just haven't exactly figured it out yet. It is going to come to you.
No, don't. That's not how it works. Ken, it's already found you, bro.
I feel it. I feel like it.
Now you're gonna start getting the energy. And the energy is gonna lead you to a level of fucking greatness that you can't even wrap your heads around.
Well, I sure hope so. I'm ready for it.
We got to be the change that we want to see, man. It's what the whole practice change stuff's about. It's, we got to set, I think people like us setting the example for others, not saying it from an egotistical point of view, but because of the things that we have experienced in our lives that give us this opportunity to be able to witness the darkness of the world and see the light for what it is.
Somebody mark this fucking video because I'm telling you right now that this guy under me, I think
he's under you.
Right. You're going to change the fucking world and you don't even know it yet, bro. You don't even know how much you're going to change the fucking world. Give it 4 years and come back and see where he's at. And we will come back and we will watch the end of this video. You're going to look at yourself and you're going to go, if I would have only known then what I know now, bro, you are going to fucking blow people's minds with the number of people you wake up.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, I've been going out of my way to wake people up ever since I got woke my damn self, you know. So I ain't stopping anytime soon, and I appreciate the kind words, bro. I mean, hey, future me, while we're all watching this 4 years from now together. Damn, Rice, you look good, bro. You've been working out. Ben, nice, dude. Yo, appreciate you, man. You look good, too. And I hope I didn't shave this beard. I hope in 4 years it's beyond screen length. So 4 years from now,
a little bit of light in it,
hello.
hopefully.
Say hi to our future selves, because Ben's right. Well, 4 years from now, we'll come back and watch this together.
Unfortunately, guys, I won't be there.
You will be there.
Well,
energy always remains the same. It just
I was gonna say you either be there here or you'll be there.
I'll be there. I just won't be there.
Right on. Love you, man.
I love you, Ben. And Ken, you know you're my bro. I mean, there's a reason why, I've been like staying up, by your side and being as supportive as I can and really truly cherish our friendship, man. I'm getting to know you over the past couple of years. I mean, you're an awesome person, man. I like the fact that you just keep it real.
Yeah, man. I mean, ever since we shared a bed together, we're like brothers.
Several times, but yeah.
Several times.
We've done a lot of interesting things together. And somebody mentioned in New Jersey, I'm going to be doing my best to make sure I'm up there. And if
you can crash with me, you can just crash.
I know I can crash. It's a matter of I'm just got to figure out me getting up there thing. So I'd like to even do a conversation like this with all of us live and just like have everybody like join us. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
I go with the vibe.
I think this is in a way, I think this is like the real purpose of these technologies like blockchain and cryptocurrencies, because it gives us an opportunity to change the world and take out that third party and even out the playing field for everybody and allow for it to be truly equal. Yep. Which is something we haven't had at all in our history. There's always been some sort of like feudalism where there's always been peasants and there's always been a lower, middle, and upper class. And, we haven't seen that pure equality thing. And it'll be a really beautiful thing when we can get to that point in our evolution.
The only time we will reach true equality is when we all realize we're magic. And we're all equally magic.
Abracadabra.
Facts. We're all wizards. Shout out to Nifty Wizards. I'm a
shout out to your wizard, your wizard graphic. I like that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been playing. Ben, I don't know if you noticed, I've been playing like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's on the blockchain. It's
really.
Yeah, and I've been trying to tell people this is like the Bitcoin essence. Like Bitcoin is a video game, and like Satoshi Nakamoto was a dungeon master. And
which one's Dungeons and Dragons? Or like
it's Nifty Wizards, but it's very Dungeons and Dragons esque.
I should check it out. Well, gentlemen, I gotta get ready to wrap things up here in a few.
If you're near Florida,
oh yeah,
Saturday,
I will be in Florida this Saturday. Check out my website, www.bitcoinben.io, for the location, because I can't remember it right now.
I'll find it. It's the Tampa Bay area.
I love that Ben said www. Like we haven't had to use that in over a decade, but Ben still does it. He just wants to make sure you guys don't miss the website, the World Wide Web .bitcoinben. What's IO stand for? International something, right?
Initial offering.
Initial offering.
So Saturday, October the 24th at Temple Terrace. It's in the Tampa Bay area. Fat Uncle's Tavern.
I love the name of Fat Uncle. That is such a great. I already know that everyone there is already going to be a good time.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a little screen share so
And then the week after, we'll be in Jersey, and me and Rice and Ken will all be there.
In Dirty Jersey, it's going down on October 30th. But till then, on October 24th, check out Temple Terrace, Florida, the Tampa area. Uncle Fat's Tavern. I love it. I can't say it with a straight face, dude. It's like you got to imagine that's the name of a business. There's a sign.
You gotta get a shirt.
You gotta
get a shirt for him. Uncle Fat shirt. So yeah, the Greenhouse Bar and Grill in Amora Wayne, in Jersey, the Friday the 30th. Now, Ken, your birthday is not the 31st; it's technically the 1st, right?
Yeah, Mama went into labor on Halloween and didn't spit me out till a little after midnight. So November 1st.
We're always celebrating on Halloween night.
Yeah, my whole life I've celebrated on Halloween.
Yeah, we've past 2 years, me and you have celebrated together
in Vegas, bro.
Yeah,
and with Lucy in the Skylight Diamonds as well.
Fucking something, you guys. I remember waking up the next morning and you guys hadn't even gone to bed yet.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys were fucking tore up.
Yeah, this past year, me and Vesta were up to like, I guess 8 a.m. because we were still doing shots at the bar together and somebody ordered breakfast. We both were like, our phone's dead. So like, what time is it? Somebody's like, it's like 8 a.m. and we're looking at each other. I thought it was 1 a.m. maybe.
I was wearing those dragon onesie pajamas.
Yeah, Bryce comes up to me and he's like, "You ruined my life," and then disappears into the shadows.
I did a little bit more than I was intending on doing. I shouldn't have done. I should have really actually listened to you, Ken. I don't generally listen to you when it comes to things like that. But you do give great advice when it comes to it.
I do know what I'm talking about.
You only want to do one, and I did too.
Litecoin Lisa, do you want to do an episode of Educating Lisa tomorrow? She's over for you in the chat.
Yeah, but for some reason, like this is the first time this has happened to me. Like I can't scroll down into my chat and see the newest comments. It's weird. It says new comments, but I can't see any comments.
Try refreshing the browser.
If I do that, it might do something to the stream because it's it's inside the web. Like it's not an actual application or a program that are running through.
Yeah.
So I can't see the new comments. I can see here now. Lisa said yes.
Okay, good. All right. Then I will get a hold of you.
Is today Lisa's birthday?
It's actually tomorrow.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Lisa.
Yeah, happy early birthday.
And so is Educating Lisa going to be tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to tune in for that.
Yep, I will actually send her a text.
Cool. Yeah. Sweet, man. Well, I really freaking thoroughly enjoyed this, man. I definitely am going to have to let Ken know when we do this thing again because I like to have the three of us have this conversation.
I'm always down. I mean, I like to talk.
Next week.
Sweet, man. Anything you guys want to say before we wrap things up?
Shout out to Divi Project. Don't forget to follow me. Doing a $5,000 Divi Bitcoin giveaway. So if you want a chance to win like half a Bitcoin, Bitcoin keeps going up, bro. It used to be half a Bitcoin worth of Divi, but now it's just $5,000 worth of Bitcoin or Divi, which used to be half a Bitcoin. I'm like, damn, Bitcoin, you keep going up.
It crossed over the 12K mark while we were streaming. It's like right now it's 11,997. Yeah, so it did cross over 12K while we were. So
there's a couple days left for your chance to win. There's a lot of ways to enter, and shout out to Divi Project and Ben for helping me put that together. Shout out to Chain Games because I don't know if you saw, but if you play blockchain video games, I'm an in-game playable character now.
Yeah, Ben. I saw that shit, man. That's
Ben, so cool. People can use me inside a video game, and when they play, they get paid in crypto.
I saw this go-kart and I saw like a Kenn Bosak character with the crazy hair and the beard. It was awesome, man.
Yeah, I wanted my car to look like Roger Rabbit's taxi. You know what I mean? From Roger Rabbit. So like my car looked really cool.
Classic.
I'm in like Super Saiyan mode, so my hair's all like orange and in flames, and it just looks badass. And yeah, people can play and race each other and win crypto. And they're doing a lot more stuff with like Call of Duty and Fall Guys and other like legit games and involving cryptocurrency and tournaments for that as well. So I don't know. You guys know I like to play my shooter games. I'm going to be playing a lot of like Call of Duty and Apex, and I can, basically win crypto every time I play. And shout out to CoinFlip, which is like the #1 Bitcoin ATM. Like, big loves.
Yep.
Yeah. They're taking over Coinbase, like big facts. I don't know if everybody's ready for it, but things like this shit. I mean, if you think Uniswap was a dent, wait till there's double the amount of Coinbase or CoinFlip ATMs than there are now. Coinbase is really in for it. At least that's what I think. And then shout out to HODLIT. If you're looking for a way to like buy Bitcoin without the temptation to FOMO out, HODLIT is pretty much I've been telling people, if you don't trade and you just want to stack, HODLIT. But if you're active and you want to do things with stuff, it may be something else. But I think right now you need to HODLIT, and you can do that with the HODLIT app.
And you can always do multiple strategies. I mean, you can have your HODL stash, and you can have your your stash that you play or trade with or whatever.
Yep.
So
exactly.
And HODLIT will within the next few quarters, you'll actually be able to remove your coins off once they do a few partnerships.
Awesome. That's great news. Bamboo Ben says CoinFlip and HODLIT.
Yeah, Ben, you get it. My bamboo bro. I like that artwork. You got the what is that? God or Super Saiyan 3? I see silver hair. I like it.
Oh, no, that's for
I see the Litecoin logo.
Yeah, there's a Litecoin logo and a Dragon Ball Z. It looks like Goku.
But the outline kind of reminds me slightly of like the Crow. Speaking of the Crow movie.
Oh, it does. It is.
It's not quite, but it reminds me a lot like it.
I see it now with the price chart. Yeah, it's a really nice piece of art you got there as your avatar photo.
Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We've had the chat's been really crazy. We've had I appreciate everybody that's like sent me a super chat.
Yeah, the super chats were awesome, guys. You guys rock. Like, that's love.
As soon as this video is done processing, which usually takes like 10 or 12 hours, I'll download it and upload it onto LBRY and 3Speak. It should automatically be on BitTube, so that way
upload it to Float too, man. You can upload your videos to Float.
I need to start doing that. I need to start like figuring it because I
live stream on Float every day now through Restream. It's just one of the things I added to my list of RTMP keys.
Okay, cool. I didn't know they had it set up where you could do that now. Was that new?
No, that's been around. What's new is you can actually go into your library and save your live streams. And
because they used to delete, right?
Right, exactly. And now you can actually post it once you're live. Sort of like Twitch.
Okay,
cool. I don't know if you ever use Twitch. If you use Twitch for a live stream, you have to manually upload it or it will disappear.
Oh yeah, did you guys see this real quick before?
Yeah, like Lee said, that was a good find. That was like a Where's Waldo game. We didn't even know we were playing.
He was right there, right? I mean, because he took a picture on his Twitter profile from him standing from behind it with the stage being empty. So he had perfect coverage, man. And all you saw was that nice crisp monarch hat, and then
it makes me really want a Bitcoin logo in the middle of it, like a crown jewel or something. I'm like, oh, that could have been a Bitcoin logo.
I would have loved it if he would have held up a sign like buy Bitcoin.
That would have been hilarious. I wonder if he was prepared I bet if his son was there, he would have.
Oh, I would have milked that because, if you would have posted your public address, man, that dude got hooked up.
I don't know if you guys are in on the new. I know you're trying to wrap shit up, but the new public address shit, you can send Bitcoin to Kenn at Bosak, just so you guys know. Or I know you do with Unstoppable Domains. You can use KennBosak.crypto.
So the Kenn at Bosak is what? How do you use? Who's that through?
That's FIO, FIO. And you can get a free account through Edge Wallet, and
you got to renew your subscription.
It's just like a web domain for your
right, but with Unstoppable Domains, you own it outright once you buy it. You don't pay
money. Exactly. They're totally different services.
Oh, and speaking of that, Lolly today
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, they just added. They just, what is it called? Let me see.
I got the DM. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read
tag.
it.
Yeah, they were hitting up everybody that had been supportive of the platform, and what she said was, we're launching a new feature called Sats tags, and it says it'll give you a reusable Bitcoin identity for earning, receiving, and eventually sending Bitcoin,
which is really cool.
Yeah, so another simple way.
And they actually, he actually reached out like, "Hey, we saved you, Bitcoin Ben." And I'm like, "Sweet, thanks."
Yeah, they're good people, man. The Unstoppable Domains. I do work with them, but pretty much what they'll do is just give me the domains. I haven't really received any payment for any work or anything like that.
Yeah, domains are only like $40 too, so it's not like a huge, whatever. It's just a lookout. But if you wanted to get your own Unstoppable domain, it's not going to
put blogs in there now. You can use it as a website.
But the thing with Theo that
email through it now.
I think the thing that you're missing with Theo is sort of like, it's almost like creating your own email domain or something. Like, so I own Kenn at Bosak, and at Bosak is my domain. It's private. I could add my family to it and have like Robert at Bosak, or, my mom at Bosak.
I remember.
Right. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with that.
Because it's the foundation for inner wallet operability as well.
Right. And I think there's going to be cool gamification. Because, like, what if somebody has a name, right, at Bosak username? I could do, like, a random lottery airdrop to one of those usernames, and it wouldn't be as difficult as finding a public address string or something, right? I could just find the first name and finish the domain. So I could go Ben at Bosak and just, conveniently be able to send Ben some crypto right out of my own little domain, like, list.
That is sweet.
And you can request it. That's another thing with like Unstoppable you can't do. Like, so if Ben, you have a Theo address on Edge Wallet, you can request, like, you could say, "Hey Ken, send me 1 Bitcoin," and send that request to me. And I see the request like a PayPal request. I just hit OK and it sends it to you, just like a PayPal request would work.
Well, okay.
You set that up in a smart.
It already is.
That's through Theo, right?
Yeah, Theo smart contracts are
now, Unstoppable Domains just did something. I think it's launching today, where you can connect up your Twitter account via a Chainlink Oracle, so that when you're sending somebody funds like at ricecrypto.crypto, it actually will pull up with my Twitter image, so it lets you know that you're actually sending to the right person as well. So it's like an extra. Yeah,
it's a little bit of doxing, but I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, but giving out your public address is kind of doxing too.
I heard an ad on the radio, and I heard it like 4 or 5 times. Hey, how advertising, using like a QR code.
Yep.
Right. Now, what and I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who, that it by January 1, PayPal will offer Litecoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum.
They got to compete with Cash App somehow.
Well, they've already announced that
$50 million public purchase. They've
already announced that they're going to be doing crypto. Venmo is going to be doing it. We know MasterCard and Visa now are doing things.
I saw
the banks can custody crypto for you.
When I saw the little change machines in the shopping markets, where you could dump your quarters and nickels into, as soon as I saw
Coinstars transfer into Bitcoin.
As soon as I saw that, except Bitcoin payouts, I knew Cash App and PayPal, all of these were next. It's just the Petri dish. They had to have a specifically netted experiment that they did with it, and they're just going to keep building on top of those experiments. I guess we can wrap things up. I'm sorry, I keep segueing into topics.
No, it's all good, guys. Anything you want to say before we wrap anything up in?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, okay, hungry, cool. Well,
geez, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I got links down below. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I do encourage you to check out my Patreon channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to both me and Ken's channel. I know Ben is doing live streams on Theta TV, so make sure you're following him on Twitter so you can get information about that as well. I'm going to go ahead and
not quite yet on.
oh, it's not happening yet, but it's happening soon.
Yeah.
But you do have your Patreon going, and I have links down below for your Patreon and your YouTube channel. All right. Well, I want to tell people, while people can take advantage, man, like go to Money Metals Exchange and take advantage of your offer to get a free half ounce of silver. If you purchase $100 or more as a first-time buyer, use the promo code RICE. You get a free half ounce of silver, and it's another way to support the channel. And as always,
it's another way to protect yourself from werewolves. So get some.
Yeah, werewolves, man. You got to protect yourselves from werewolves. As always, I encourage everyone to be the change by practicing